The Australian Open witnessed one of its most talked-about moments this year, and it had nothing to do with an ace or a match point. Instead, it was the tense, awkward, almost shocking ending between Naomi Osaka and Sorana Cîrstea that set the tennis world on fire. As the final ball was struck and Osaka sealed the win, fans expected the usual respectful handshake at the net. What they got instead was a cold, rushed exchange that immediately raised eyebrows and sparked a storm of reactions online. From the very first game, the match had an edge. Osaka came out intense, vocal, and fully locked in, shouting, "Come on," after key points, pumping herself up with the kind of energy that has always been part of her competitive style. Cîrstea, experienced and proud, matched her shot for shot, but as the match wore on, the tension became impossible to ignore. Cameras caught Cîrstea visibly annoyed, shaking her head, muttering under her breath, and at one point even questioning the chair umpire about Osaka's vocal celebrations. The umpire ruled that Osaka had done nothing wrong. Her shouts were between points, not during play, and therefore perfectly legal. But while the rules were clear, emotions were anything but. Cîrstea continued to play, but the frustration lingered, simmering just below the surface as the crowd sensed something brewing. When the match finally ended in Osaka's favor, the atmosphere was strange. Instead of the usual brief smile or nod of mutual respect, the handshake was icy. Cîrstea barely paused, offered a limp touch of the hand, avoided eye contact, and walked away almost instantly. Osaka froze for a second, clearly surprised, then turned toward her opponent as if to question what had just happened. It was subtle but unmistakable. Something was wrong. Within seconds, social media exploded. Clips of the handshake flooded timelines, slowed down, replayed, and dissected from every angle. Fans argued fiercely. Some accused Cîrstea of poor sportsmanship, saying that regardless of frustration, respect at the net is sacred in tennis. Others defended her, claiming Osaka's constant come-ons were unnecessary and disrespectful, especially given the stage and the moment. The drama didn't end on court. During her post-match interview, Osaka addressed the tension directly, suggesting that Cîrstea may have been upset by her vocal celebrations. She also mentioned that emotions might have been high because this could be one of Cîrstea's final appearances at the Australian Open. While Osaka appeared calm and honest, her words drew mixed reactions from the crowd, with some fans booing, adding yet another layer to the controversy. Later, Osaka reflected on the moment more carefully. In her press conference, her tone shifted. She admitted that some of what she said immediately after the match may have come across as disrespectful. She apologized, emphasizing that she does not like conflict and never intends to offend her opponents. It was a rare moment of vulnerability and self-awareness, reminding fans why Osaka remains one of the most relatable figures in modern tennis. Cîrstea, on the other hand, played it cool. When asked about the handshake, she brushed it off, insisting there was no real drama. According to her, it was simply a competitive moment in a high-pressure match, nothing more. But her calm response did little to slow the online debate. If anything, it fueled it further. This incident touched a nerve because it exposed a deeper question in tennis. Where is the line between passion and provocation? Some players are quiet warriors. Others, like Osaka, feed off energy, emotion, and self-motivation. In today's game, both styles coexist, but not always comfortably. What one player sees as harmless self-encouragement, another may see as a lack of respect. The timing made it even more intense. Osaka is still fighting her way back to the very top after time away from the sport, under constant scrutiny and expectation. Every gesture she makes is magnified. Cîrstea, a veteran possibly nearing the end of her career, stepped onto that court with pride, experience, and emotion. When those two worlds collided, sparks were almost inevitable. What makes this moment so viral is its rawness. There was no shouting match, no racket smash, no official violation. Just a brief, uncomfortable interaction that said more than words ever could. In a sport built on tradition and etiquette, that split second at the net felt louder than any roar from the crowd. Fans will continue to take sides. Some will argue that respect must come before emotion, no matter the circumstances. Others will say tennis needs more authenticity, more real reactions, even if they're uncomfortable. But one thing is certain, this wasn't just a handshake. It was a snapshot of modern tennis, where personalities clash, emotions spill over, and every moment is captured, shared, and judged instantly. As the tournament moves on, Osaka advances, focused on the next challenge. Cîrstea walks away with her head held high, leaving behind a moment that may well be remembered longer than the match itself. And the tennis world is left debating, once again, whether passion is a problem or the very thing that keeps the sport alive. In the end, the scoreboard tells one story, that handshake told another, and that's why everyone is still talking about it. Tennis fire.